to, it'll be up on our YouTube channel afterwards. But I'm going to spotlight Lee now. So that Lee is from Glean, so he has kindly joined us today to run through everything Glean related, all within a very short space of time. So whether you're brand new to it or you've used it, but maybe you want to make sure you're kind of getting the most out of the functionality or whatever, Glean will cover that now. And there will be, so we're going to do it all in like 15 minutes, so we won't be keeping you, but there will be time at the end. There's another 15 minutes for questions if people want to hang on, or Lee, if you want to go into a little bit of further information on any of the particular features. So I'll spotlight you now, and I'm going to turn off my own camera and you can take it away.
Cool. Well, I am going to start sharing my screen first of all, otherwise this will not be a particularly good demonstration. If you could just confirm, Sue, you can see my screen, that would be fantastic.
I can indeed. And I was going to say, I'll be keeping an eye on the chat box as well. If anyone has questions as they come up, I can try and answer those, or I'll send them on to you.
Perfect, thank you. So like Sue said there, my job here is to demonstrate what you can do with Glean in a very short period of time. So I'm going to show you all of the key features and functionality and hopefully give you a little bit of confidence about going and using it for yourself, because it really is a simple tool. Sue, can I just make a suggestion there, and just to mute your microphone, just because there was some background noise coming through.
Yeah, I'm in a noisy spot here. I'll do
yeah, cool. Yeah, so we're going to get a video after this as well, so you can go and watch this again in your own time. Now, Glean is there to help you with taking notes, and you can do it and use it anywhere really. So it doesn't matter if you're in a lecture environment, seminars, or whether you're on a webinar like this, watching a video, it works in all those environments. Now, you can use it anywhere you want as well. So I'm going to show you how you can use it on your laptop and on your mobile phone. So if you are using it on your laptop, you need to use this in either Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. And you simply go to the login page, which is app.glean.co, and then log in with your email address and password. If you're using it on your mobile app, of course, you need to go and download the mobile app. Android and iOS, it doesn't matter. And then again, log in with the same details. So we're going to start off by showing you how this works on the laptop, and we'll keep this nice and simple. So if you're getting ready to go into a class and you want to use this to help you take notes, just go and start off by clicking the new event button and then giving this a name, whatever the class is. So we'll just pretend we are going into a physics lecture. Now, you can import lecture slides into this if you have access to them, but we'll talk about that in a minute or two. I want to keep it super simple to start off with. So what you would do is, when the lecture starts, you want to start recording what's being said. So just go ahead and click that record button, and then you just need to choose where you want to record from. So you've basically got two main options. If you were in the same room as the person doing the talking, so it's an on-campus lecture, then record using your microphone. If you're on a virtual class, a webinar, or maybe you're watching a video, a pre-recorded video, choose one of the remote recording options instead. Basically, do you want to record what's going into your computer, or do you want to record what's coming out of your computer? Doesn't matter which one you choose. The same happens afterwards. You just need to decide what sound source do I want to select. I'm in the same room as my computer, obviously, for this demo, so I'm going to choose the microphone option. So as soon as you start recording with Glean, it starts capturing everything that's been said, and it starts to visualize that audio on the screen. So those gray blocks that you're seeing appearing now, it's just a visual representation of what I'm saying right now. And it breaks them blocks up based on pauses. So if I just take a really long, deliberate pause for a second or two, and then I start talking again, you can see how that audio visualization works. If you happen to find that to be a distraction when you're using Glean and you don't want to see it, you can hide it away. You can just jump up to this option just above and then hide that audio while you're recording. It is entirely up to you. I'm going to bring it back for the time being because that is the default. Now, the entire point of recording audio really is to free you up. Because if you're recording everything that's been said in the class, you now don't need to worry about trying to scribble everything down. You can try to concentrate more on listening to what's being said and actually thinking about the information and asking questions, etc. But the idea isn't just to record and do nothing, because if that's all you do, then all you're going to end up with is a big long hour recording. And that's going to be pretty time consuming to go through afterwards. It's going to take ages to filter through a big long audio recording. And you're probably not going to want to listen back to all of it in any way. You really just want to listen back to the key moments, the things that are important, the things that you maybe didn't understand. So what you can do with Glean is you can do some note taking live in the moment, but very, very light touch. Really just an outline of your notes. You're not trying to do the full thing, and it's dead easy to do this. Different ways depend on how you like to work. So if you like to take text-based notes, you can just start typing. So if the lecturer right now said something really important, you could just start typing whatever you want. So I might just type key point and then press enter. So it adds your note to your list of notes here, but really importantly, it links this note to a moment in time in the audio. And this is what allows you to be very, very brief with your note taking. You don't need to write the detail because you're actually recording the detail. All you need is a way to get back to that information really quickly afterwards. So I can just type key point, and then later on afterwards, after the class is finished, I go back to this and think, what was that key point that was said? I don't need to go and hunt for it. I know it's exactly there in the audio. And that really is the principle of using the software. It can be as simple as that. So again, maybe someone talks about an exam question, you just type exam. You don't need to write all of the details in the moment. You're capturing the details. What you might find though, sometimes typing's a little bit tedious. So what you can do instead is use these labels if you prefer to tag things without using any text. So it's dead straightforward. If you want to tag something that's important, just click and hold important for a second. If you will hear something and you decide, I want to go and review that later, click and hold review for a second. It's exactly the same principle. You're just removing text out of the equation. You can add text if you want to while you're doing this, though. Maybe someone's talking about an exam question again or an assignment. So you might say exam question, and then also give it the important label. So it's either text labels or a combination of both of them. You can also, if you want, use headings. It's another type of label. It's a little bit different from the rest of them. It's good to use this when you're moving through various different topics. And again, this can be done with or without text. So really, all you're doing is recording everything that's been said and creating an outline of your notes. It's dead easy to pick up. Let's just stop the recording there. So you can do that with your laptop, or if you don't have your laptop with you, you can do exactly the same thing on your mobile phone. Principle is exactly the same. So if you just turn your attention to the right-hand side of my screen now, I'm going to be showing you the same thing on the mobile. Tap on new event. We'll just call this one mobile so we can see that it's different, and then start recording. Now it does look a little bit different. The interface is a bit different on the mobile phone, but the same principle is there. It's capturing all of the audio and you can tag it in the same way. So I'm just going to do exactly the same as I did before. Tap, add a note, key point, and send it to my feed. Tap and hold important, and then let's go and add a heading as well. Now, the only real difference with the mobile phone is that because it's on a mobile, you've got access to a camera. So you see the little camera icon in the bottom there, it just allows you to take pictures. So if you want to snap a picture of a slide or something that's written on a whiteboard while you're recording, you can do. I'm just going to take a quick picture of the Lego Star Wars behind me. Something nice and inoffensive, and then just select to use that photo, and it popped it straight into their link to your audio. So the point being that you can do exactly the same strategy regardless of whether you're on your laptop or your mobile device. And the nice thing about all of this is that the two things sync up with each other as well. So you don't need to have an internet connection while you're using Glean. But when you are online, it syncs everything up to a cloud account. And it means that what you record on one can appear on the other. So you don't have to manually transfer things from one side to the other. So you can already see there where I refresh my screen, both of those files that I've made are now available on both sides of it. So that's the basics of recording. A couple of additional things that I think you might find useful, though, is first of all, lecture slides, because I know they're used quite frequently. So I'm going to go in to create a brand new event and just show you that you can incorporate slides into these recordings as well. So you can bring the slides in afterwards if you want, if you don't have access to them before the class starts. But ideally, you would go and download them from the VLE system and import them into your event before you start recording. It's just a little bit quicker if you do it that way. So before we click this record button, you'll see we've got an import slides option. So I can go in here, import the slides. They can be PDF or PowerPoint format. It is entirely up to you. Open them up in here, and then it just pops them in the side there, ready to be used. Now, I'm just going to show you how we add slides during recording. It's nice and straightforward. We'll start the recording process again. Just to reiterate, by the way, when you have slides in here, you can still do everything that we just did before. So you can still type your key points. You can still use the labels. You can still put the headings in here. None of that stuff changes. Now, you have the option of also adding slides to this. So let's say the lecturer moves to the next slide and you want to add that to your notes. It is as simple as clicking on post next slide. There's keyboard shortcuts for this as well. It'll post it to your notes feed and also show you it. You can maximize that if you want and minimize it if you want. Now, I know lecturers don't always go through slide decks in the order that they've given them to you. So that's why we've got these little next and previous buttons down here as well. So if the lecturer skips a few slides ahead, that's not a problem. You can just skip to the slide that they're actually talking about and then post that one as well. And a neat little thing that you can do with slides, if there is some text on here that you want to grab and use it in your own notes, you can strip that text out of these slides. All you've got to do is hover over the slide, click this little icon, and it'll go and strip all of the text out of here and put it into here for you, saving you typing it up yourself. So like I say, slides aren't essential to the usage of it, but if you're in a lecture, you've got them, then it can certainly help add to your notes. What you would do afterwards is you would still now need to go back in and write your notes up. You know, it isn't writing the notes for you. What it's doing is it's capturing all of the information and allowing you to write a kind of an outline of your notes during the session. But it means when you come back to this, the process of writing these up now is so much simpler. You're not having to listen through an entire hour-long audio recording or try to find individual things, because each one of these entries you've made is linked to the audio. So when you come back into here and you want to play something back, so this note here, for example, you just hover over it, hit the play button, key points. You can still use the labels. You can still put the headings in here. Now play back that exact moment in time in which you made that note. And then, of course, because you're doing this in your own time afterwards, you can play this back as many times as you need. And then you can just add more detailed notes to your heart's content, however much you feel you need to do in here. So it's kind of scaffolding the note-taking process. You're not having to do it all in one go. You're capturing first, and then you're going back and reviewing the relevant part afterwards, and then fleshing out all of the details that you need. When you are playing things back, by the way, there are a few playback options that you might find useful. So if someone's talking really quickly, which I tend to do, you might want to slow me down a little bit, or maybe you just want to skim listen it through to something and you speed it up a little bit. And we've also got these audio cleanup tools which help it just improve the clarity of the audio a little bit, which is useful if you've got a little bit of background noise going on as well. Now, these are not essential, but I did want to show you a couple of cool things just to finish this off, because notes are usually your own words and slides, but we have a few integrations with other things as well. So I want to show you a couple of them. So we've got a direct integration with Wikipedia, and we also allow you to search for images directly within Glean as well. So let's just say you were recording or reviewing this recording you've made, and then you start wondering, what is Flight of the Navigator? I wasn't born in 1986, unlike me. I have not seen this film before, and I want to find out some information about it. So what you could do, right, is you could highlight Flight of the Navigator, And then we'll just copy that to the clipboard. And if I want to find out what is this, I want to find out what the Wikipedia article is, you can click this little icon here, which is a definition search, paste it in there. You could have just typed that in there, by the way, but copying and pasting is easier. Hit enter. Glean will go off and it will grab the Wikipedia article on whatever you've searched for and dump it straight into your notes and also link you to it. If you want to find an image that's related to this, click the little icon next to it. You can either import an image that's already on your computer or you can do a search. So if you're interested in seeing what does this film look like, go and search for it. And then if you want to grab any one of these images in here, just click on it. It'll go and grab it from wherever that is and pop it straight into your notes. So it means you can use your own text alongside a little bit of research as well. And you can also put links to websites and other things that might be relevant into your notes. Once you've been through this whole process and you've finished, if you now need to maybe come back a few weeks or months later, you're coming to do some revision for whatever it is you need, you can come and review this at any time. Everything's saved. You don't need to worry about deleting things. You've got unlimited storage in the cloud. We've got a nice little reading view in here that you can jump into. A lot of people prefer this view when they're reading through their notes. It displays all the information more like a traditional set of notes. So you can see the slide, text, any external information you've brought in. If you want to get it out of Glean, though, you can do. So either print it if you want a hard copy, or print it to a PDF if you want it in PDF format. Maybe you want to share it with a friend or something like that. What I tend to do, though, I like working in Google Documents. So we've got one button in here, which will allow you to copy all of your notes in one click to your clipboard and then paste it wherever you want. So if you're working Microsoft Word, paste it into there. I'm a Google Docs user, so I just go and open up a blank Google document, paste it in here, and then I have my complete set of class or meeting notes in my example saved into a Google Doc file. And that's the way I like to use it. You don't have to use it like that. It is entirely up to you. And they are all of the fundamental tools and features that I think have a little practice with them. And you'll quickly see how useful this can be in you helping with your notes in your lectures. And that's all I really wanted to cover, Sue. I think that's Glean in a nutshell in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think you've covered everything there. So does anyone have any questions that they'd like to throw in before? I have a couple anyway. So Confidence, would you like to unmute and ask us, or do you want to put it in the chat box? You there?
Yes, yes. Hi, I thank you very much. What I want to find out, can I download this? Or where do I find it?
You don't need to download and install Glean. You get an account. So I'm not sure how you got that set up on your side, Sue, but you will effectively get set up with a user account. You log in with an email address and a password. So it means you can use it on any computer. I was already logged in when I turned this demo on. But if you go to the login screen, I'll just log out so you can see it. It would, this is the web address you would go to, you'd pop your details in and just log in. So it's not an installation, it's powered by the web browser.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't have a license as yet, Confidence, if you could maybe email me at disability@ucd.ie, the same for anybody else. If you're unsure, you might have received an invitation in the past that you didn't activate, but it is all browser based, so it all can be used in Google Chrome and synced across devices. So you don't actually download the full recording, but as Lee showed there, what you can do once you have your notes is you can copy and paste that into a Word document or into Google Drive.
Okay, thank you, Sue. Thank you, thank you.
No worries. Does anyone else have a question?
Hi, Sue.
Hiya.
Just wondering if this will be available to watch afterwards, the recording.
It
Just
will, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're going to put it up on our own YouTube channel. All Access and Lifelong Learning's YouTube channel, so it'll be up there after this, and I might stick a link to it in our Brightspace module as well, just to make sure you know where it is. I think Lee is going to do a little bit of doctoring to it and add in some kind of annotations and stuff, so it might be a day or two, but we'll have it up there soon.
Okay, thanks.
So the only other, I think the only other question I had for you is two questions, Lee. If you don't have the slides beforehand, if the lecturer hasn't put them up and you want to add them in afterwards, what's the best kind of way of going? I know you can import them, but in terms of linking it then with the divisions within your notes, what's the best way to approach that?
Okay, so if you don't have the slides while you're recording, but you know you're going to get them afterwards, what I would suggest you do, and I'm just going to start recording off here, is use the heading function to identify when you'd want to put a slide in. So let's say the lecturer has moved to a slide now. I might just, for argument's sake, say like type slide 1, and then post that as a heading, and then do your note taking. When it comes to slide 2, slide 2, and put it like that. So that's the way I would use the heading function to identify where the slides are. And then afterwards, let me just stop the recording. Like you say, you can import the slides afterwards. So you would go up to your options menu, import the slides. So I'll just use the same ones as before. And then you can effectively replace them. So I would go and click into where heading 1 is, and then post that slide. And then you can probably get rid of heading 1, to be honest. You can say, right, well, I'm done with that now. I can just delete that. And that's the way you could go through and you could replace them. I mean, it will take you longer doing it that way, naturally, because you're doing it retrospectively. That's why if you've got access to them beforehand, try to download them and do it live in the moment. But you can do it afterwards as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. And the phone, when you're using it on mobile, is it correct? I know you guys are updating things and adding things all the time. The last time, or when I was first shown it, I think you couldn't import slides on the phone. Is that correct? But you could import them on the laptop and then sync it and pull them down onto the phone. Is that right?
Yeah, so if I just, let me go on to the slides one. So the way it works is you can view the slides on the phone. So you see the one that we've just recorded there, and I've got on here, you can see the slides. You currently can't import them while you're recording on the phone, but they are working on that. So it not be too long in the future where you'll be able to download and import the slides on your mobile device and add them on your mobile device as you're recording. Yeah, the developers have got it on their list of things to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's another argument for having those slides up there beforehand. What I often say to students is maybe go in the night before, create an event for every class you're going to have the next day, import your slides, and then you can do it on the phone, you can do it on the laptop, it's ready to go. And it's a good kind of, because we recommend, I suppose, when we cover note taking, we recommend having had a look at the slides ideally the night before anyway, as a kind of pre-preparation for class. How many of us get to actually do that, I'm not sure, but that'd be the ideal.
Yeah, I was just thinking as well there, you mentioned how to use it. If you don't have them, you could take a picture of the slides, I suppose, because you've got the camera function. And then when you come back to review it later on your computer, replace the picture with the slide, if you want to do it that way.
Yeah.
So it's entirely up to you. I do find that...
I'll tell you later.
Although you
no.
the audio back on your mobile phone.
Sorry, a bit of interference there. If anyone is unmuted. There we go. Okay, sorry, Lee. Continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, although you can play the audio back on your phone, I just think that if you're playing it back with the intention of writing your notes up in more detail, ideally I would try to do that when you're sat in front of a computer. It's just easier, trying to type up anything detailed on a tiny phone screen while you're listening. It's not the best experience. So probably better to record on the mobile phone, but then listen back and write up on your laptop. That's the best way to use it, I think.
Mm-hmm. And what was the other thing I was going to ask you there? It's great to know about that camera function. I didn't realize how easy it was on the phone, because obviously if you have a class where it's more notes on the board, diagrams, all that kind of thing, that would be the preference. So that's really good. Yeah, on the phone as well, just another one on that. Can you record if you were attending an online class on the phone? Is that an option on the phone as yet? Not yet.
No, it's not technically possible. That's the problem. Is
Okay.
if you're on a laptop, you can access like the content that's coming out. You just can't do that on a mobile phone. iPhones, iPads in particular are quite restricted as to what they allow you to capture. Well, what if we could? I think the practicalities of it will be difficult as well, though, because usually when you're attending a remote class, you want to be able to see what's going on. So being able to like use Glean and see like what's going on at the same time on a tiny phone screen.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So it's about the kind of like interface and usability and all that. So it's good to know though which is kind of the better device for different circumstances. So that's something worth taking into account. How accurate is the wording from the recording? Is another question we have there. So I don't know if you mean in terms of the sound quality or so in terms of sound quality, you would rely on the microphone within your device. And Lee showed there some of the options around reducing clicks and cleaning up the audio a little bit in the playback. But we can also provide little small micro USB, not micro USB, sorry, small USB microphones. They're very discreet. They clip onto the side of your laptop or the top of your laptop. So if you're using Glean, but what holds you back maybe is that the quality of the sound isn't good enough, depending on your depending on what lecture hall you're in and so on. Do link in with me about that. We can try wording as in so it's the transcription tool. We didn't cover that today, did we, Lee? Because that's very new, the transcription side of it. Yeah, so it's not that you're provided with a transcription of the words. It's that you've got the recording of the words and then you type in your kind of key points and keywords, so that the typing is still down to you, and then you've got the audio recording. So that's but I don't know if you want to make any comments, Lee, on the transcription tool. I know that's literally just out of the box kind of thing, isn't it? So
it's a very new thing. I mean, it's something that it's a difficult topic of conversation, to be honest, because the problem is note taking is best when you write your own notes up. So that is the key function of the software. It's not going to do it for you. You know, you take notes so that it helps you to learn the information. That's the main thing note taking is there for. So the whole
we would generally our kind of go-to, there are transcription tools out there like Otter AI and stuff, and obviously for some students they are a good option. Sorry to name drop something, but generally the reason we go with Glean more so is in a lot of cases the transcription can actually be nearly more detrimental, because you've got this huge long print out of everything, and every little tangent and every him and haw, and a lot of the time they don't actually really help that much, depending on your needs, of course. So there would be some situations where I would provide a transcription to a student, but generally we would say in terms of good note taking, if you have the audio there, you're actively listening because you're writing down those keywords to kind of point to the right place for yourself, and then you're going back afterwards and kind of processing that and expanding on it. And all of those steps kind of really help to cement in the learning for you and process the information for you. So that's why we would err towards not transcription tools, except for certain circumstances. So has anyone else a question? Did I miss any there? I don't think so. So I think if everybody's happy, we're bang on half now. So thanks again so much, Lee. And if anyone has any questions at all, you can come back to me. You can also book in for one-to-one training with myself. So you can get me again at disability@ucd.ie, and you can request one-to-one training, or this video will be up again afterwards as well. But if there's any issues with licensing or you didn't receive your AT referral or whatever, we are a wee bit behind on them at the moment. So if you've only just been referred, it might be another week or so before we get your license out to you. But yeah, just stay in touch with us. And thanks again, Lee. That was brilliant. I saw a couple of things there I wasn't even aware of myself. So
cool.
I'm glad we got you in. Okay.
No problem at all. Thanks, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.